If your garden grows food, it grows trust. You believe that what comes out of your soil is clean, nourishing, and safe. But here's the uncomfortable truth most gardeners never hear. One of the world's most common foods, rice, is also one of the most efficient collectors of arsenic. And that same arsenic can be hiding in your garden soil right now, not from some distant factory, from old lumber, from past pesticides, from natural deposits in the ground. This isn't fear-mongering, it's reality. And once you understand how arsenic behaves in soil, you gain the power to control it. Welcome back to Soilsage Chronicles. Let's cut through the myths and get straight to what matters. Why rice absorbs more arsenic than any other crop. Rice is unique because it thrives in flooded conditions. Those waterlogged soils change chemistry in a way that unlocks arsenic. In dry soil, arsenic tends to stay bound to minerals. Flood the soil and oxygen disappears. Iron compounds dissolve. Arsenic is released into the water. Rice roots then absorb it easily through the same channels they use to take in silicon. That's why rice accumulates far more arsenic than wheat, corn, or beans. It isn't about poor farming. It's about biology and chemistry colliding. If you grow rice in a garden bed, a low patch of land, or even in containers using soil of unknown origin, you are recreating the exact conditions that mobilize arsenic. And if your soil has ever been exposed to treated wood, old orchard sprays, mining dust, or contaminated fill, the risk increases. So, how does arsenic actually end up in garden soil? Well, arsenic in gardens usually comes from 4 sources. The first is pressure-treated wood, especially older lumber used for raised beds, borders, or compost bins. Wood treated before the mid-2000s often contained chromated copper arsenate. Over time, rain slowly leaches arsenic into nearby soil. The second is historical pesticide use. For decades, arsenic-based sprays were common in orchards and farms. Even if that land looks pristine today, residues can remain for generations. The third is contaminated filled dirt. Many urban and suburban gardens sit on soil brought from unknown sites. The fourth is natural geology. Some regions simply have higher background arsenic in the ground. You don't need all 4, one is enough. What arsenic does in the body. Arsenic is not just another heavy metal. Chronic low-level exposure has been linked to impaired immune function, cardiovascular disease, developmental issues, and increased cancer risk over time. You don't feel it immediately. That's what makes it dangerous. When rice or vegetables grown in contaminated soil become a dietary staple, exposure becomes steady, small doses, every day, for years. This is not about panic, it's about reducing what you can control. Testing your soil is the turning point. You cannot manage what you don't measure. Soil testing for arsenic is the single most important step. Many standard garden tests do not include it, so you must request a heavy metals panel. If levels are low, you can garden normally with confidence. If they are moderate to high, you don't abandon your garden, you change how you grow. Knowledge, turns fear into strategy. The first line of defense is organic matter. Compost binds arsenic and reduces its bioavailability. A soil rich in humus locks contaminants away from roots. Every inch of compost you add is, really, a layer of protection. The second is iron. Arsenic loves to cling to iron compounds. Adding iron to soil creates binding sites that trap arsenic. A simple garden-scale method is a ferrous sulfate drench. Just mix 1 tablespoon of ferrous sulfate powder into 1 gallon of water. Stir until dissolved. Then, apply 1 gallon per 10 square feet of soil as a light drench. Do this once in early spring and again in mid-season. Water the bed normally afterward. This encourages arsenic to bind tightly in place rather than moving into plant roots. The third is crop choice. Leafy greens, beans, tomatoes, peppers, and most fruiting crops accumulate far less arsenic than rice or root vegetables. If your soil tests high, avoid growing rice and limit carrots, beets, and turnips. Focus on crops that naturally exclude arsenic. The fourth is raised beds with clean soil. When contamination is significant, isolation is powerful. A raised bed lined at the bottom and filled with known clean soil creates a safe growing zone even on compromised land. If you grow rice at home, homegrown rice is rewarding, but it must be managed intelligently. Use clean, tested soil. Never grow rice directly in unknown ground. Use containers or lined beds. Avoid continuous flooding. Alternate wet and dry periods once plants are established. This reduces the chemical conditions that release arsenic. And when you harvest, preparation matters. The cooking method dramatically changes arsenic levels. The most effective household method uses excess water. Rinse rice thoroughly until the water runs clear. Then cook 1 cup of rice in 6 cups of water. Boil it like pasta. Once tender, drain the excess water completely. This method removes up to half of the arsenic content. It's simple. It costs nothing. It works. Water quality matters more than you think. Irrigation water can be a hidden contributor. In some regions, well water contains measurable arsenic. Flooding rice or watering vegetables with that water just compounds the problem. If you rely on a private well, have it tested. If arsenic is present, consider filtration for household and garden use. Or, maybe switch to rainwater collection for edible crops. Your soil may be clean, but your water could be adding what you work to avoid. The compost myth. Many gardeners believe compost fixes everything. Compost is powerful, but it is not magic. If compost is made from contaminated materials, it can introduce arsenic. Ash from burned treated wood is especially dangerous. Only use compost from clean plant matter, food scraps, and untreated wood. Never use ash of unknown origin in food gardens. Compost is a shield when it is clean. It is a Trojan horse when it is not. Building a resilient soil system is, honestly, one of the best things you can do for long-term health. Healthy soil biology actually reduces the uptake of contaminants. Mycorrhizal fungi, bacteria, and organic acids all compete with arsenic for root access, making it harder for toxins to reach your plants. The more alive your soil becomes, the less room there is for toxins to move freely. So, mulch heavily, feed those microbes, and avoid over-tilling. If you can, keep roots in the ground year-round. Every biological layer you build becomes a buffer between contaminants and your food. This isn't about sterilizing nature, it's about partnering with it. There's a quiet power in informed gardening. Arsenic in rice and soil is not a reason to stop growing food, it's a reason to grow smarter. Most people never test, they never question old lumber, they never change cooking methods, they unknowingly accept exposure as normal. You don't have to. You can test, you can amend, you can choose crops wisely, you can change how you water and how you cook. Each step is small, together they are transformative. Soilsage Chronicles exists for this exact moment, to replace guesswork with grounded wisdom, to turn hidden risks into manageable systems, to remind you that the soil beneath your feet is not just dirt, it is a living interface between earth and body. Treat it with respect, and it will feed you safely for a lifetime. If this guide helped you see your garden differently, subscribe to Soilsage Chronicles, share this with a fellow gardener who deserves safer harvests, and keep growing with intention.